Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time. Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to my top 100 games of all time. Now, this is the 11th time that I've done such a list, and so a lot of people are going to often say, you know, is there really going to be that big of a difference between the list from year to year? Well, there is kind of a difference. There's 23 games on my list this year that there wasn't last year. Now, this is going to change all the time. In fact, if you compare my top 100 to my top 10s from each year, I just did the 40 years of great games, you'll probably notice some discrepancies, and that's because, you know, the games kind of are fluid, they move around. There are some games which are really set in stone, and there are other games that I may have played since making those, or I haven't played as much, so there's going to be change, and I think the usefulness of these top 100 lists, other than me just being slightly egotistical to tell you what my favorite games are, but there's also, you can see as the years go by, what games stay on the top 100 list. I might really like it now, but it might drop off. When I'm done with these top 100 lists, I'm going to do another quick video that shows the 100 games that did not make it. I built my list all the way up to 200 this year, but there is a lot of great games. So we're gonna get started here at the Miami Zoo from the Dice Tower. Here we go. My number 100 this year is Welcome to the Dungeon. Now, last year was the first year this showed up on the list at 67, but Welcome to the Dungeon, it's still in the top 100 because this is one of those little filler games that I just like so very much. It has a push your luck aspect to it. So you play it and there's one hero you pick. There's 4 heroes in the box, although 4 more heroes are coming later on this year from Welcome Back to the Dungeon, and you can mix them. But you pick a hero, let's say you pick the rogue, and each turn of the game, each player is going to either take away one of that rogue's pieces of equipment, or they're going to add to a pile of monsters, or they're going to drop out. And once everyone has dropped out except one person, that person then has to take the equipment that's left and go through the pile, and they're either going to get a wound because they can't make it through the pile of monsters, or they're going to go through and be successful. So at the beginning, it's easy to go through. There's no pile of monsters, and you have all this equipment. But it's going to get more and more difficult as time goes by, and you're kind of like pushing your luck. Just how little equipment can I go through, and how many monsters? This game is a blast every time I bring it out. I really like it. Definitely one I'm going to keep in my collection. That is Welcome to the Dungeon. Number 99 is Small World. Now, this is the 8th year that Small World has been on the list. It was as high as 32 at one point, but it's still one of those games that when you pull it out and you say, hey, Tom, you want to play it? I am definitely interested. It is a fantasy game about a world that's too small, and so you're fighting over it, but every game is going to be different with the different combinations of different fantasy races and different traits. So I might be the underground elves or the angry orcs or whatever the different races are. And each expansion added a lot of more diversity to the game. They even had a spin-off, Underground, which wasn't as good, but still pretty neat. And in fact, they're coming out with an expansion with more maps this year with pirates and such. But all that really pales. The base game itself was really good. It scales incredibly well from 2 to 5 players. Really enjoy that aspect of it. And I'm constantly wanting to just say, hey, let's play it again, let's play it again. Really enjoyable game, Small World. There's a beautiful deluxe version of the game. Definitely don't hunt that one down. It's extremely expensive. But just the base game itself was pretty high component quality because, hey, Days of Wonder. That's Small World. Okay, so now we're taking a look at a game. This is the 2nd year this one's on the list, and that is Ultimate Warriors. Now, Ultimate Warriors is a game that when I first heard about it, I said, this game's amazing. Why are we not talking about this more? Because Ultimate Warriors was basically about a bunch of monsters getting in a ring and fighting each other. Kind of similar to King of Tokyo to some degree, except King of Tokyo are giant monsters. Ultimate Warriors is more like you control a dragon or you control an orc, but you're going in a ring, and each set here has, each monster has its own set of action cards, and those action cards are different. If you're the dragon, you're bigger and slower, but you have a whole lot of hit points. If you're the little goblin, you got fewer hit points than everyone else, but it's harder to hit you. And so you play a card each turn. That card lets you move, attack, roll dice. The game has a very nice mechanism where it's pretty much in your interest to hit everybody, not just keep hitting one person more often than not. The game is about dice rolling. It's chucking dice, playing cards, seeing who hits who, but it's entertaining. This is one of those games that I get to play I play this probably once or twice every year at a convention or at my house, like a marathon or something, and it's just a lot of fun for everybody. There's smack talk being done, and you say, okay, I'm going to play this monster, I'm going to roll dice and see what happens. It's probably a forgotten game. Once it goes out of print, you'll probably never hear of it again, which is unfortunate. This is a Matago game, ones I like a lot, but if you can find a copy of this one, I certainly recommend it. That's Ultimate Warriors. So here we are now talking about innovation. Innovation is a game that's been on the list for several years, and it was even as high as 22 when it first came on. In fact, the first year Innovation came out, it wasn't even on the list. It was because of the expansion that Innovation really shot up. And you know, I still haven't played the second expansion for this one yet. And I think Innovation is, you're seeing it drop a little bit, but I still really like it. I still think it's best with 2 players. I still think it's an amazingly fun, chaotic game. I just can't get it to the table as much anymore because I'm always looking for someone to play with. There's not many people who really like this game that much. Some people just hate it. But for me, I really, really enjoy just the concept of going back and forth. I love the civilization theming to it. I love that the fact you can use cards for different things. I really like the yellow production of the game. And so it's going to stay in my collection, right? Because it's just such a fascinating game. It's not like many other games. It has this splaying mechanism, which I really thought when it came out, I was like, oh, everyone's going to start splaying. No one has. The word splay is used for one game. That's Innovation. But it's used in a really cool way in this game. Definitely check it out. That's Innovation. Firenze. Now this is not a new game at all. In fact, this came out several years ago, but this is one that it's been in my collection for a few years, and I realize just how much I like this tower building game. In Firenze, you were basically building towers out of different color blocks, and they actually stack pretty neat. It's a pretty cool idea. But what makes this game for me is it uses the same mechanism that Small World uses, where there's these cards out on the board, and each turn you have to take a card. Some of the cards are bad, some of them are amazing. So you might want to skip a couple cards. You're always supposed to take the first one, but if you skip them, you have to put blocks in the ones you skip. Well, blocks are useful because you need those to build the tower. So you have to like take the right cards and the right color blocks and more blocks. So this card might give me some negative points, but it has like 5 blocks on it. And I love that idea. It's very simple in concept. It plays very quickly. It plays equally well, I think, with 2, 3, and 4. And it just has a fresh feel to it. It's not the only tower building game out there. There's a lot of tower building games, but this one has a neat look to it, has that cool card mechanism. Highly recommend it, Firenze. Xenoshift is on the list here. Now Xenoshift, this is the second year Xenoshift has been on my list, and they just came out with a new version of Xenoshift called Dreadmire. And this one fascinates me. And Sam were talking about this game the other day, and it's getting like no buzz. He just did the review of Dreadmire, and it kind of was like, no one really seemed to care. But folks, you should really check this game out. I know there's a lot of deck builders out there. I know there's a lot of aliens are coming to get you games out there. But if you want a game that feels kind of like the Starship Troopers movie, with maybe better acting, this is what this game feels like. The aliens just keep coming in, and you are sitting there and you are fighting them off as fiercely as you can in a really difficult, I mean, this game is really difficult, but it is extremely interesting. Each turn you're going to buy different cards, and it really accelerates. The enemies get harder and harder as the game goes by, but you get buffer and buffer, which is a really fun aspect. You get these really cool cards. And more than almost any other cooperative game, I believe that Xenoshift really promotes teamwork. You're saying, hey, oh, you need a bomb? I got your back. Or I would have had your back, but I spent that bomb on myself. And so I think the game probably plays best with 3. 4 might be a little too much for the game, but it still is not that lengthy of a game. And if you're really bad, it's going to be a pretty short game anyway. I think that either set, they're standalone sets, the original set Onslaught or Dreadmire, I think you could play with either one of them. The Xenoshift was like bugs, Dreadmire is like gross, there's not much difference really between them, but there's all kinds of, you can combine them. It's a really cool concept. I'm really enjoying this game. Each time it comes out, you're like, all right, how are we gonna die today? Come on, you guys, you wanna live forever? Lots of fun. It really does feel like Starship Troopers, the game, and I'm good with that. Xenoshift. '94 is another new entry on the list, and that is A Feast for Odin. Now this game is really unusual for me because I'm thinking it could shoot really high on the list or it could fall off the list completely next year. I don't know. All I know is this game fascinates me, and every time I talk about it, like right now, I'm thinking about playing it again. This is a game from Uwe Rosenberg in the same line of games as Le Havre, Caverna, Agricola, and all that jazz. And it is his biggest one he's done yet. Have you ever played a game called Patchwork? Which, by the way, isn't in my top 100, but I like Patchwork, where you're putting different tiles on a grid trying to cover up all the spaces. Well, you're doing the same thing in A Feast for Odin, except it adds a worker placement game with 60 different places to put workers and various things that you can do, whether it's going to go raiding, or you're going to go whaling, or set traps for animals, or you're going to go trading, or you're going to go and harvest food, and you have a feast that you got to prepare every turn, and changing goods for this, and then building and maybe discovering a new island. There are so many options in this game. I have no idea how they play tested it because it just mind boggles me the huge amount of options you have, but it is incredibly fun. And each time I play it, I think more and more, ooh, what can I try now? What could be the next step? And I think that's the mark of a good game, that whole, ooh, what's the next thing around the corner? So I think this will be in my top 100 next year. I don't know, but I can guarantee you I'm definitely gonna be playing it before next year. Certainly a cool game to check out. That's A Feast for Odin. Pillars of the Earth has been on the list now for 10 years. And this is one I kind of hate talking about because I'm about to get into it and say, yeah, this is an amazing game. And then you say, where can I buy it? And we say, it's not available right now. But I feel like Vasel's Law says this game will come back in print somehow. Maybe not with the Pillars of the Earth theming to it, but I feel like it will come back because the game is that good. Now, this past year, I finally read Pillars of the Earth. And while the book was not necessarily my style, it's a little too grim, maybe for my taste, the game makes a little bit more sense now, but I had no idea what the book was about when I first played the game. It's about, but I knew what the game was. It was building a cathedral. And that's what you're doing over this game, mirroring what happened in the book. And you're using different people. There's different famous people that you'll use, and you're getting goods, but it has a really cool worker placement mechanism where you're pulling workers from a bag, and hey, my worker got pulled first. That's great. I'm better than you. Except now you have to pay more money. And so the game has that kind of fascinating play, like you get to put your workers out first, but then you have to pay more money to do so. A really cool concept overall. I like how the whole game comes together in a really good way, and it is gorgeous. So just pray for the reprint, and then you can enjoy it as much as I do. Now, 92 was on my list 12 years ago when I made my first list. Except it hasn't been on for like the last 4 or 5 years, and that is Yinch. So it's kind of like a new entry. And here's the deal. The more I look at these abstract strategy games, and there's a lot of abstract strategy games, I can't argue that most of them are not better than Yinch. Yinch is a great game. Now, if you've never heard of Yinch, it's in the GIPF series. They're actually reprinting some of the GIPF series this year, except not Yinch, which boggles my mind because in my opinion, it is heads above the other ones. In Yinch, you're trying to get 5 in a row. Yes, I know, lots of games do that. But this game, you have rings, and you're going to move them around the board as far as you want, although you can't move over another ring. And when you move over pieces, you flip them, kind of like Othello. And as you're flipping pieces, you have to flip them, whether they're your own or the other person's. You're trying to get 5 in a row of white or black. It really comes together in an amazing way. Every time I play this game, it feels easy. You know, there's some abstract games you feel like you have to kind of work your head around. What do I do now? What do I do now? In this one, you don't have to do that. And yet, by the time you get halfway through the game, you're like, whoa, this game's so much deeper than I thought. You're right. Weird name, Yinch, but an amazing game. If you ever find a copy of it, definitely recommend playing it. Now, number 91 is a game that I like so much that I helped get it into the Dice Tower Essentials line. I mean, obviously, many of the games from Dice Tower Essentials line, I can't fit them all in the top 100, but I'm gonna put a lot in there because I really like them that much. And this game is Onitama. Yes, it beat out Yinch as an abstract game I love a lot. Onitama is a 2-player game. And in this game, you essentially have 5 cards and just 5 pieces. That's it. but the 5 cards are going to be different in each game. See, in Onitama, it's like a chess type game. You're trying to capture the opponent's leader, or try to get your leader on their end piece. So you're moving around, and each time you have 2 cards. They tell you how you can move your pieces, and the cards might be different. It might move like a might. It might be move forward 1 or move backward 1. And when you use a piece and use one of those cards, you then put that card in the middle, take the middle card and take it in front of you. So you only ever have 2 moves available to you, and the move that you use, you're making available to your opponent to use as time goes by. This game, there are some games that are just burning my brain. I still remember the first time I played this, and me and Z Garcia were just like, what is this amazing game? Oh, wow, it's so cool. And it really was that cool. We really enjoyed our playthrough of it, and I instantly knew I had to see a nicer production of it, and Arcane Wonders came through. Onitama is a gorgeous game. Certainly check it out. A great 2-player abstract. Well, that's it. The first 10 games. There are still 90 more amazing games to go. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed the list so far, and I really like the beautiful scenery that I'm able to walk around in here at the zoo. I do want to thank everybody for watching this, for watching all the different top 100s that we go throughout the year. Let me know which of the games you agree with or disagree with in the comments. You know, maybe you want to make your own top 100 sometime. It's more work than you might think. But anyhow, until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and this has been my top 100 games of all time.
Thanks for watching. To see the rest of the top 100 lists, check out our website at dicetower.com, where you can also find The Dice Tower, the premier podcast about board games. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching
Tom Vasel's Top 100 Games of All Time.